Welcome to the Fantasy Football Forge. Let's get some color match set up to the shirt. I am recording all three of these episodes right in a row, so hopefully I remember to say everything that I want to say because I've said it already twice. But welcome to week one of the fantasy football season. It is time to rank the running backs. Now, you can find my complete rankings up at the website, www.theffforge.com. There's a link down in the description, and right below me, you can also see the website. Those rankings will be updated throughout the week. They will also be changing come week 4 as far as how they appear, because right now I'm just kind of freestyling my projections. My rankings, I don't have any projections going into this. I need some data points before I make some projections. I don't want to go based off of last season. Teams have changed and whatnot. So after we get 3 weeks in, then I will start doing my projections where you will see some expected ranges, most likely range that a player will probably score within based on their production, based on the defenses that they're facing, etc. And also, I do expected floors, expected ceilings, which is a nice chart that you will be able to look at where you can see if you need something safe. If you need a higher floor, you can look between a few players and determine which player is going to be your best option there. Or if you need a Hail Mary, maybe your team's pretty banged up and you're going up against the best team in the league, you can see who's going to offer you a nice high ceiling. At the end of the video, I'm going to need your help setting up my lineup this week. And I'm curious, would you like to help set up my lineup every week? Friday nights, would you like to do a live stream where we could just talk some DFS stuff, talk football in general? You can help set up my lineup at that point, and I would cover any updated news items, injury news, etc. as well. Just let me know. We can hop on for an hour or two on Friday nights. That would be fun if people would actually come, though. So you'll need to let me know if that's something you would want to join in on. And as a reminder, Sunday mornings, 1 hour prior to kickoff, you can come and join me. Did I already say that? I don't know. Let's get to the running back rankings. You can already see I have Austin Ekeler ranked number 1, and that's because I am very high up on the prospects of scoring in this game. So between him and Christian McCaffrey, who do I think has a better chance to fall into the end zone for 2 touchdowns this week? It's going to be Austin Ekeler. I don't know that I have any running backs until like into the 30s here that are, or maybe it's like the late 20s, that are going to be, have the same as the ECR. They're very, very much shuffled up compared to the wide receivers, which there's a lot less disagreement until later on in the rankings. I will be going through my top 30 rankings here, so once again, if you want the full rankings, up on the website. So we have Austin Ekeler in my running back 1, Christian McCaffrey. Saquon Barkley, I'm not falling off of my preseason thoughts. I think he's heavily used. I think this New York Giants offense will be better than last season, and going up against Dallas is an opportunity for them to have to spread their wings and fly as much as possible because Dallas will probably put up some points on the board against their defense. Then we have Tony Pollard in as my running back 4 on the opposite side of the ball. Nothing to dislike about that. Nick Chubb and Bijan Robinson in at my running back 5 and 6. There's probably going to be people wondering why Bijan's so low. I mean, some of you might not wonder that given my preseason projections on him, but it really mostly has to do with this matchup here going up against Carolina. Don't expect there to be a lot of scoring in this game. That's my biggest concern for Bijan Robinson all season long, and it did come very close between him and Nick Chubb. I just went with the experienced running back that we know is going to get the full workload. Bijan, we don't know for sure. Tyler Algier could take some of that work off from the running game. Cordell Patterson could take some of the work off in the passing game. Let's get to a full top 12 running backs. And right at running back 7, we're going to start off with my Love'ems here. So I have 2 Love'ems for the running backs, and they are both going to be the Jacksonville running backs. I love the running backs for Jacksonville this week going up against Indianapolis. I expect them to lean on the running game a lot this game after maybe taking a quick early lead. And honestly, although I do love Travis Etienne because he is the starting running back here, I will not be surprised if Tank Bigsby, who I've ranked at running back 38, I mean, I'm not going to get crazy here and rank him higher than Travis Etienne, but I'm not going to be surprised if he outscores Travis Etienne this week. I think there is a good chance that they'll be along the goal line several times in this game, and I think that Tank Bigsby could very well steal vulture touchdowns from Travis Etienne throughout the entirety of the season. And so I won't be surprised if Tank Bigsby gets 2 touchdowns in this game. Maybe one kind of early on, once again, in a vulture situation, and then late game, they might decide to essentially sit Travis Etienne or turn him into the spellback for Tank Bigsby, and maybe Tank Bigsby breaks one on a tired Indianapolis defense and gets a second touchdown, and 2 touchdowns will very much make it tough for Travis Etienne to outscore him unless he's very involved in the passing game. I also think that they're both solid DFS options. I think for the prices of each of them, they're solid options. Let's move on to the rest of these top 12. Josh Jacobs in at my running back 8, Ramondre Stevenson 9, Derrick Henry in at 10. Just came down to some of the passing upside for some of these teams, as well as New Orleans defense being a good rushing defense. And so that scares me a little bit for Derrick Henry in a game that I think New Orleans is going to be able to score against Tennessee and turn. I don't. There's a lot of outcomes here, but I don't think any of them are. I guess a low-scoring game might favor Derrick Henry, so that's possible. Then Joe Mixon going up against Cleveland. I don't know. I just don't love it, but I don't hate it. And Kenneth Walker going against the Los Angeles Rams. So. For sure, must starts up to running back 11 here. Let's start to get into some of the fun territory with my top 18 running backs up there now. And I have Jahmyr Gibbs in as my running back 13, followed by Aaron Jones, J.K. Dobbins. Very close to a love here for J.K. Dobbins. In fact, let's just make him my second love since I went with 2 running backs on the same team for Jacksonville. We'll just count that as one love. And Bob Marley. J.K. Dobbins, Baltimore, going up against Houston. I think there's a good chance that they could really lean on the rushing attack in this game. So J.K. Dobbins is a love him. Then we have Rachaad White, also basically a love him. He is going to be my DFS buy of the week. I think both of these guys, I've talked about in other videos. Tampa Bay, I think, has a potential this week against a good Minnesota offense, but a bad Minnesota defense to really have a good fantasy week for several of their players there. And so I do like him for the DFS buy of the week. I think you can get a good deal on him for somebody who I have ranked 16th this week. Then Alexander Mattison going on the opposite side of the ball, just a little less receiving upside than him, but the touchdown upside might, maybe I should have Alexander Mattison above Rachaad White. Then Miles Sanders I have here in at my running back 18, and you're getting a sneak peek at my first Fade'em. So let's move on down. My next 6 running backs, and I know you can see running back 25 there, but starting off at running back 19 through 24, we have Najee Harris, David Montgomery, Isaiah Pacheco, Cam Akers, Brian Robinson Jr., and James Cook. And so Najee Harris is going to be a fade for me this week. I think there is a chance that Jaylen Warren could outscore Najee Harris this week if he gets the utilization that some people are expecting that he will get in the passing game. I think against the San Francisco rushing attack, Najee Harris could find rushing very, very tough, and Jaylen Warren might be able to find some success on a screen and scats away for a touchdown or something like that. I think that's possible. So I'm nervous about Najee Harris this week, and it's not like I'm excited about Jaylen Warren. But I do think that there's the potential between those two things that Jaylen Warren could at least be, they could have similar weeks or outscore Najee. Then I'm a little bit high on David Montgomery, just opportunities, Isaiah Pacheco, high-scoring game I'm expecting, so opportunities for touchdowns and whatnot. Cam Akers, I'm not high on. I'm just not a huge fan of Cam Akers. So when it comes down to taking those opportunities, I'll take them over what I don't think is some sort of great talent, not a great offensive line or anything like that. Going up against Seattle, a defense that I think will be improved. I don't know how much against the run. And then Brian Robinson Jr., I think is an interesting play this week. This is very well could be the highest that I have him all year. I think that they will. This is one game going up against Arizona that they might be able to lean on the run quite a bit, and especially the north and south running attack with Brian Robinson. And then James Cook going up against the New York Jets, like that quite a bit. I think that could be a high-scoring game, so I like the opportunities there. Let's look at my top 25 through 30 running backs. We have Breece Hall in at running back 25. This feels low. I have him 3 spots ahead of the ECR even, but there are the concerns. So he's definitely a sneaky start, we'll say. If you drafted him, you're probably playing him. So I think there's a good chance it'll work out just fine for you. Then we have Raheem Mostert here, only 3 spots ahead of ECR, so that's been climbing, but have him up at running back 26. Very excited about the prospects here. I think... No, Raheem Mostert's not very cheap, at least on DK, so he didn't make it into my DFS buy, but I don't think he's a bad purchase in DFS. Then Jamal Williams going up against Tennessee. Just like the boom upside of several of these guys, more so than the plotting upside of Jamal Williams, though he can catch just fine. And Khalil Herbert going up against Green Bay. Rushing defense that was pretty bad last season, so there's some opportunity here. They made some changes on the front to help shore things up, so we'll see if that ends up working or not, but there is an opportunity this week for Khalil Herbert. And we'll get to my second fade, which is Dameon Pierce going up against Baltimore. Very, very good rushing defense. I think, week 1 here for a rookie quarterback. I'm just not expecting a lot out of this offense. I have a couple concerns for that Baltimore defense this season, but in week 1, I'm really not expecting CJ Stroud to be able to take advantage of that. So I think Dameon Pierce is going to need to break away for a big run, which he can do, especially when he's fresh here in week 1. But I'm not betting on it if I have some of these other guys that I can play ahead of him. And then James Conner in at my running back 30, and that should wrap that up. Yeah, that's my top 30. Once again, you can find the rest of my running back rankings up on the website. And before you go, I have one question for you for my lineup. Drafted Cooper Kupp. Need your help because he's probably not playing, right? I need a wide receiver, a flex, and a running back. So my wide receivers are Tyler Lockett going up against the Los Angeles Rams, Jahan Dotson going up against the Arizona Cardinals this week, and Brandon Ayuk going up against the Steelers. Then I have Raheem Mostert and Samaje Perine as my running backs. Which 3 of those would you start? Once again, that is 1 wide receiver, 1 running back, 1 flex. Thank you very much for tuning on in. That's it for me for filming these. I'm so excited for week 1. Let's go, baby. That was weak, so let's go, baby. That's much better. Peace out.